Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life and I'm in the kitchen, and the plan here is to do 5 or 6 probably nights of suppers for you all. Sometimes they're not continuous, but I don't think that matters to all of you. Tonight, what I have going, I need a pot holder. Okay. What I have going here, we are going to be having hamburger stroganoff. So I melted a whole stick of butter. That adds so much flavor. Oh my goodness. So I have a stick of butter. I have a very, very large onion chopped up in there, as well as almost 2 pounds of ground venison. You can use ground beef, of course. We're hunters and we have a lot of venison. As soon as the venison is completely browned, you see I started it frozen when I put it in there. So it's going to take a little bit, but as soon as that is done, I'm going to mix in all of these ingredients. This is flour, salt, pepper, paprika, and what else do I have in here right on top? Minced garlic. That's it. I'm also going to go and get out some sour cream. I'm going to head outside and cut some chives, and I'm also going to find 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Hey ladies, how you doing today? All right, I just poured in the bowl of flour and spices. And realized that my phone or that my camera was not turned on. So anyway, I'm just stirring it around. I want that flour to soak in like it did. You probably noticed that I didn't put in any mushrooms. This would be the point if you wanted to do mushrooms. This would be the point where you would do that. For me, the mushrooms in the cream of mushroom soup is plenty. Plenty of mushrooms. This is also really, really easy to do, you know, to just cut in half if you want to only make, you know, 1 pound of meat, or enough for maybe about 4 servings. But I need a little bit more. There's probably going to be 7 of us tonight for supper, so I need a little extra. I turned the heat down as well because I really don't want this to like cook anymore. I just want it to warm up and get nice and creamy. And since I don't add in any mushrooms, like canned mushrooms that have liquid in there, I do usually add about 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/2 cup. That was probably a little closer to a 1/2 cup of liquid. That just seems to kind of help make it just a little bit more gravy-like. Now at this point, I'm going to let it just sort of, see it kind of lightly bubbling there and over there too. I'm just going to do that, let it do that for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to turn the heat off. We're not going to have supper for about 2 hours. I'll just put the cover on and let it sit here on the stove. It'll probably stay pretty hot because these cast iron pans stay nice and warm. At this point, I could put it into a crock pot, just let it warm in there, but I really don't want to have to dirty another dish, so that's what I'm going to do. When it's close to serving time, I'll add in the sour cream, and now here you can add in 1 cup, 2 cups, really whatever your preference is for sour cream, and then we will serve this over egg noodles. I actually have some old-fashioned Kluski noodles, so I will cook these up again about 20 minutes before it's time to eat, and I'll probably add in just a little bit of butter or maybe a little olive oil on those so they don't you know, kind of stick together, and we'll serve our hamburger stroganoff right over the noodles, and I'm looking forward to this. This is one of my favorite meals.
I got it.
You want to scoop?
I got it.
Okay, you scoop. You can have as much as you want.
Yes!
Those are cute.
They're so sparkly. I love them so.
Fun. Pink shirt. It's pretty.
Oh, here's a normal shirt.
That's a Maria shirt.
Oh yeah. Little shorts.
Oh my goodness,
so
the shorts are adorable.
And then this. Oh, it's so cute. I love it so much. And I would like just wear this as a jacket. Yeah.
Okay, just wait. So
I got a pair like that. Really sweet glasses.
Nice.
Shoes.
White shoes.
White.
White.
Sweatpants mixed with jeans.
Neat. Hey there, Carl. Hey there, Tiger. Let's go. I have some ends of Brussels sprouts for you three. You want to come over and eat? Come on. Come on. Keep coming. Come on, keep coming. Okay, hop in. Nope, nope, nope. Blackberry, go in. All right, well, it looks like Tiger doesn't want to go in through the door. There's all the ends. There's all the ends of the Brussels sprouts. Huh? Do you like those? Nope, they all ran away. Warren came in when I was cutting these up and he's like, oh, those stink. And it looks like the chickens think they stink too. For the Brussels sprouts, I put them in at 400 degrees for like about a half an hour. Today, I don't know, they just seem to get done a lot faster, but I do shake the pan around, turn them every 10 minutes. So what happened at the 20-minute mark, I just turned the oven off and just put them back in because they needed to soften a little bit, but they were completely, you know, nice and brown. Tonight for supper, we are having the leftover ham from 2 nights ago. So I made a half ham. It was a spiral sliced half ham. I just warmed it, or cooked it, you know, in the crock pot, and I had ham left. So today what I did, I really don't want to open this right now because, you know, that adds like an added 20 minutes onto your cooking time. But today what I did is I just took, okay, but let me backtrack. So we did that 2 nights ago. Then last night we had a pizza party at church, the last night of our family faith formation. And now tonight we're going to do the ham again. So I took all of it off the bone. I have it in here warming. And then over here I have some red potatoes. So I'm just cutting these into like 1-inch pieces and I'm going to put these in the air fryer tonight. In here I have a combination of olive oil, salt, pepper, rosemary, and garlic. And I'm just going to put all the potatoes in there and then roast these in my air fryer. And I'll show you how I do that. So I have one of these big toaster oven air fryers. It does all kinds of things. I basically just use the toaster oven and the air fryer part. But anyway, I preheated it to 400 degrees. I'm just going to open this up and I'm going to pull out that tray. I always heat it with the tray in it. I'm going to pour these potatoes. It's like, what are these for a second? I'm going to pour these potatoes onto that tray, put it back in for 20 minutes. I'll come back at the 10-minute mark and turn them. Looks good.
I mean, good that you got
Looks good, Joe. Go get some ham now. Tonight for supper, we're keeping it really simple. I just made a whole pan of these like crispy chickens and we're making them into, some people are doing sandwiches. I'm just doing mine as a salad with some cranberries, dried cranberries, some Parmesan crisps. What else is on there? Sunflower seeds, lettuce, and then a little too much ranch. I forgot that it didn't have the the little squeezy and it kind of poured a little too much. Joe was having sandwiches. Are you putting mayo on there or anything?
Yeah, mayo.
Yeah? Okay, go get the mayo.
2.
Salad with grapes. So at this point, my soup is just simmering on the stove. I made ham and potato soup. Just very, very basic, just the way I made it after Easter, using the ham bone and cooking it down and just kind of all of that. It smells good. I tasted the broth. It tastes really good. Okay, now I'm making some Mile High biscuits. So I sifted all my dry ingredients, which is flour and baking powder, sugar, and salt. And now I'm cutting in the shortening. I have 2/3 cup of milk with 1 egg whisked together. I'm going to pour that in all at once. Whoops. And then just stir until all of the dry ingredients kind of follow the fork around. Basically just till it comes together.
Potato and carrots and celery?
Yep, exactly that. Biscuits just popped out of the oven here, and they look so light. I've never made this recipe before, but they look really, really good. Emily has a great recipe too, and I really, really need to make that recipe sometime. I'd have to go onto the computer and look it up and everything, so it was back in one of the newsletters. It was actually her husband's grandmother's recipe, but this was in a cookbook that I was gifted by a friend a number of years ago, and I've been wanting to try this for a while. And oh yeah, these feel very, very fluffy. The soup is looking good here. It's all hot and everything is all done. I didn't do any kind of creaming this time. I didn't add any flour mixture to make it kind of creamy. Just a brothy soup today. A little bit lighter for, you know, a May day. Tonight for supper, we are going to be grilling. It's kind of a weird day. It started off kind of chilly, then it kind of warmed up, then it cooled down, and we got a little thunderstorm move through, and now it's sunny again. So I'm hoping that it stays sunny so that we can, you know, Warren's going to do the grilling. And what we're going to have here are bacon wrapped mini roasts. I just used some steak seasoning, seasoned up the roasts. These are like from venison, the back straps, and we cut them into little lengths about like maybe 3 inches long. Anyway, then I just wrap them in bacon and Warren will grill those. And then in the oven, I actually have a new casserole. It's called Simply Potato Casserole. And so what I did is I took the milk and the butter and I brought it to just a boil on the stove top. And then I had 1 2-pound bag of frozen shredded potatoes, otherwise known as hash browns, and 2 tablespoons of dried minced onion, salt and pepper, and then I put that into a greased casserole dish. I just use like a round 2-quart one. I would have used a rectangle, but that one is dirty right now and I didn't want to take the time to wash it. So, and I do think that maybe would work better. Anyway, I put it in a round one, and then I just topped it with some fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and I did put a little bit of like a Fiesta mixed cheese that I had as well. So I put just a little bit of that on top too. And now I have it in the oven. It needs to go for 30 to 40 minutes. It does say uncovered. I do feel like though at 375 degrees for that long, I am going to have to put a I kind of put a cover over it, or at least put a piece of foil over top of it at the very end. Just loosely lay it on top so that it doesn't get too brown, because we don't want the cheese too brown. And now we're trying this. So that's going to be supper here tonight. I'll show it to you when it's all finished up. Oh, before I put the camera away, Peter did make some cookies this afternoon. And so these are just cake mix cookies made with a devil's food cake mix. Super easy. The recipe's in my cookbook. It's just chocolate chips and oatmeal and oil and eggs, and you put that into a boxed cake mix. Turn them into cookies. Delicious.
What is that?
This is a hash brown potato casserole.
Looks really good.
It looks really good. I hope it's delicious. It's the first time I ever made that. Yep, let's get some tongs. So this is how everything is looking. We have the mini roasts. And what was this called? It was called Simply Potato Casserole, I think. We got stuff falling and things all happening everywhere. And then I just steamed up some carrots. Really, really simple. Just bring your water to a boil and put the carrots in, turn it down, and let them steam. I put some butter and salt on these. So that is going to be supper tonight. For the last meal of the week, we are going to be having garlic butter steak bites with half potatoes and a spinach salad. I'm getting started first with the half potatoes because those do have to go in the oven for 45 minutes, sometimes even a little bit longer depending on how kind of crunchy I want them, and honestly how fresh or old the potatoes are. It seems like the older the potato, they're a little bit more dried out. They crisp up faster than very fresh potatoes. So I get those put into the oven and then I get started on the salad. For the salad, I need spinach, a sliced apple, crisp fried bacon, chopped green onions, and then I have some Colby Jack cheese. I would have preferred Monterey Jack. I think that would have been a better flavor for this, but I didn't have any of that. I had Colby Jack, so I went with that. I made a quick dressing of olive oil, white wine vinegar, sugar, some dry mustard, and then garlic salt and ground pepper to taste. Gave that a good whisk, and I'm just setting that aside, and then we'll serve that on the salad, well, when it's time. Next up, I'm going to get my very, very big cast iron pan really hot with some oil, just regular vegetable oil, and butter, a mixture of the two. This is venison stew meat. When we cut up our deer in the fall, I like to prep as much of the meat into like the shape that I want, the cuts that I want, before we even put it in the freezer. So I have a lot of stew meat this year and I'm so happy for it. So I'm just getting these seasoned up with steak seasoning and garlic powder, and then just before putting the steak bites in, I'm going to put a whole lot of minced garlic into this butter and oil mixture, and as soon as that's fragrant, then I'll put in the garlic steak bites and we'll just do a quick sear. I do want them to be served up medium if possible, so this goes very quickly if you have a hot pan.
With cheese in it.
Cheese and...
Hey, Peter! I'm first.
Update on the salad is that it was absolutely delicious. That was a great combination with the salty bacon and cheese, with the like bite of the green onions, with the spinach and the crisp sweetness of the apple. It was just a great combination. I would put probably about a tablespoon less of the vinegar, just because, or maybe up the sugar just a tiny bit. It called for a teaspoon. Maybe I would go with 2 teaspoons of sugar. Anyway, I just felt like it did have a good zip, which was delicious. And my favorite way to eat that meal was to have a bite of the salad with a steak bite. There was something about the bite of the vinegar with the meat that was just delicious. Anyway, the kids are watching America's Funniest Home Videos, and I am just kind of counting down to American Idol tonight, and I thought it would be a great time to make some cookies. I really wanted to make cranberry cookies tonight, so I pulled out my cookbook and made the cranberry cowboy cookies. It's just a very basic sort of oatmeal cookie dough with the addition of dried cranberries and pecans, and it is just one of my favorites. Make sure not to over bake them and take them off the pan. Just leave them on the pan for about a minute after they come out of the oven, and then get them off so that they can cool and still stay nice and chewy. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope that you all enjoyed this peek into the meals of our week. And if this was your first time here, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I'd love to have you subscribe. And even if you don't subscribe, definitely check out the comments, because the viewers here, the audience here, the group here, all my virtual friends are so smart and so full of really, really great tips. So be sure, even if you're not a commenter, to always go and read over those comments, because there's always such great ones with lots of tips and just so much knowledge that you guys all share here. Again, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.